Today we're going to be talking about our top picks for laminated jackets, but before we get into what jackets they are, let's talk about what a laminated jacket is. So starting off with what a laminated membrane is, or a laminated jacket. So this is where the waterproof membrane is actually bonded to the outer shell instead of it being like a drop liner or a Z liner where it's a separate thing. The reason why people go for a laminated jacket is purely because it doesn't wet out and it's more resistant to the water and also dries a lot quicker. So in the concept of the laminated jacket, you have the outer shell, the waterproof membrane that gets bonded onto that, and then an inner fabric as well. Now, Gore-Tex do offer a 3-layer membrane, which is basically where you have the outer shell and the waterproof membrane, as well as the inner fabric, all bonded as one. This makes the material stiffer, but more durable. So if you're someone who likes wearing a backpack and is out in all weathers all the time, then it might be something that you would consider, because the jacket will encounter less friction as all the materials are bonded together. Now that's just one component of laminated jackets. There are other components in order to keep it more waterproof, such as the fact that you need to have tape seams, because nobody wants a stitching to allow water ingress to go through it. That waterproof, that seal, will keep it nice and secure and away from any water. Other components could be that they have storm flaps to stop the water penetrating from the front in front of the zip. But overall, that is the basic concept of when it comes to a laminated jacket and how to get one that is waterproof. We'll move on to what waterproofing measurements are done in order to test how waterproof a jacket actually is. Now, in order to test if something is waterproof, something that you may have seen on the description of some jackets when it comes to waterproof jackets is 10K, 15K, 20K. Now, what does that all mean? Well, that's the hydrostatic head, in order to test how much water can accumulate before the fabric starts to wet out or leak. So in that test, you get 10,000 millimeters of water on top of a fabric, and if it starts to begin leaking under steady pressure, then that means it has a 10K rating. Now, a lot of these jackets I'll be talking about today will have either a 10K, a 20K, or when we talk about Gore-Tex themselves, it will most likely be a 30K hydrostatic head. Now that's just how waterproof it is, but not how breathable the material is. I won't go into that either, but let's just say that Gore-Tex, when it comes to the breathability and the waterproofing, they come out on top. Right, so moving on to the jackets themselves, the laminated jackets that we'll be talking about today, we're going to go from the lowest price all the way up to the highest price. Starting us off, we have the Weise Ozark jacket. This is their AA rated jacket as well, coming in at just under £300. What's amazing about this is the fact that it comes in at just under £300, because it's hard to find a laminated jacket sub £500 even. Now, on the jacket itself, you have reflective strips all around the whole jacket, so you can be more visible during the night in a nice located area, so like your arms, your chest and your back. The material that it's made out of is a 300D polyester, so it's got that nice abrasion resistance as well. The storm flaps, or the membrane as well, that I need to talk about even, has a hydrostatic head of at least 10K, so it's more than enough for in and around town or to and from work. You don't have to worry about it getting wet and sodden. Now on the inside of here, you have storm flaps to try and again redirect that water away from your chest area, relieving that pressure of water coming through the zip. You've got 2 side pockets there for convenience, 2 front vent pockets. They don't have chest pockets because it's kind of a hard and cumbersome area to try and actually get your hands into. So instead they replaced it with putting vents there, as well as on the arms. On the back portion, you do get a massive mat pocket as well to store whatever you want in, and I feel like that is definitely a more convenient place to start stuffing things into if you need to. Now, in terms of the adjustability of the fit, you have an adjustable neoprene collar up on the top here with a riveted button system that can actually adjust to different lengths depending on how tight or loose you want it. Same goes for the sleeves. You have 2 options on how tight or loose you want it around the arms as well. Now for the waterproof zip. You have an extension pack, extension zip or expansion zip there, so you can get your gloves through the jacket without having to take the gloves off, if that makes sense. And on the inside you have a 5-piece armor set, which is standard with Weise. With all their jackets from this line, you'll have 5 pieces of armor, that being shoulder, elbows and back. They will be releasing a new line as well as new armour that they will be using, which is RE0, which I'm quite interested in seeing. Hopefully they still do the 5-pack or the 5 armour set in each of the jackets with that as well. Before I forget to mention, it also has a removable thermal liner in the inside so that you can take it out if it does get a bit sunnier or a bit hot. Next on the list, it will be the Halvarssons Naren jacket. This is a double A rated jacket by Halvarssons themselves. It's a very dialed back, simplistic design for an all-season jacket. It won't have all the bells and whistles, but because of it being understated, I think it's a nice and sleeker option if you don't want to look like an all-out there touring jacket. Now, the construction of it is the high durability PA weave that they have, and it's also coated with that DWR that I was on about earlier, that durable water repellent coating. Now, that means you might have to maintain this later down the line, but you don't have to do it so regularly either. And to treat it, you can use things like what Nick Wax has to offer in order to coat that and recoat that. So just be sure to look after it. In terms of the features of it, you have a storm collar that's detachable at the top there to stop that buffeting of wind going towards your neck area or allowing cold air in from the top as well. Now, the collar is adjustable with a Velcro strap. If you open it up, you have your zip to open the main compartment. You obviously have this storm flap here that goes over the top of the zip and stops the water from penetrating it from the front, like on the Weise jacket that we were on about earlier. Now, on the interior, you do come with an Outlast inner lining. This is non-removable, so it's a permanent fixture in this jacket, but don't let that deter you from getting the jacket if you're considering this one, purely because Outlast is a thermal body regulator. So if you're cold, it will stay cold. If you're warm, it will stay warm. So if you want to wear it during the summer, just make sure you're not really hot. Otherwise, you'll get that retention of heat in that jacket when you're all sealed up. Nonetheless, you have vents on the front here as well as on the back. Overall, it's a very sleek design for a jacket, something to consider if you don't want to be all out there, like I said earlier. Now, on the back here, last thing I want to mention is the fact that you have exhaust vents out here. So if you open it up, you have a big old vent coming out the back to allow all that air to push through nice and easily. Now, the airbag ready system means that you can actually just wear an airbag with this jacket. In the lower portion of it, same with the Weise jacket, you have an adjustment strap on the waist as well as a connector zip for any of the Halvarssons trousers at the bottom there, so you can keep it all nice and secure as a 2-piece sort of setup. And there you go, that's the Naren Halvarssons jacket. Moving on to the next jacket, we have the Dainese Hekla Absolute Shell Pro. If that was a mouthful, the features are going to be far, far above that. In terms of the laminated membrane, it is a 20K waterproof membrane. So that, remember from earlier, means it can withstand up to 20,000 millimeters of water before it starts to seep through the laminate. Now, this textile material is of ripstop and it also has quick dry, and all those ripstop areas are in higher abrasion prone areas on the jacket, so you can be nice and protected if you do come off, and it also means that it's not going to wear down as quickly if you are adventure touring. If I haven't said it already, this is the flagship touring adventure jacket that they are offering at the moment, and when it comes to the ventilation, it is absolutely fantastic in the sense that you have 2 at the front here, massive vents there, 2 on the sides of your arms, and a massive quick and easy access with one hand double vent open system, if you want to call that. With one pull of the toggle there, you open both sides of the zips, meaning that you can keep your focus on riding and not having to worry about using one hand at a time in order to open up the back vents. Since we're at the back here, we can also look at the pocket. It's a net mesh sort of pocket in there, so you can shove in anything that you want into this drawstring little pocket at the back, either your maps, maybe a bottle even, or other goods in there, and not have to worry about it falling out. In terms of a more secure pocket, if you move around to the front, they have this fidlock system. If you haven't seen that, it's basically this little bag system with a magnetic strip that allows you to put anything into this pocket, release it, and it's completely sealed, closed, and waterproof. Or if you have more time on your hands when it comes to putting things in your pocket, on your left hand side you have another pocket with a waterproof zip that's actually folded over, again to stop the water from coming in from the top and penetrating that zipper in letting water in from the front of that, if that made sense there. You have adjustment straps on the side here, so you can get a customizable fit around your body, keeping it nice and secure around your waist area. Big massive front pocket here to shove whatever you want in there, maybe a glove or what have you. But with this Dainese jacket, they also have something called the magic connection system, so you can have your gloves readily available at the side whenever you need them. The Polartec Power Air thermal liner in the inside can be worn as a standalone as well, so you don't have to wear this laminated jacket at the same time if you just want to keep warm off the bike. Now, when it comes to the other features of the jacket, we can move on to the actual armor levels that are actually in here. You have the Pro Armor Level 2 in the shoulder and elbows, which is always nice. But don't let that stop you. You can also get the chest armor for this, the G armor that they can get as an optional extra for the chest and back as well, if you want to have a full set of armor for your off-roading adventures. Right, for the first of the two Rukka jackets that are on the list, we have the Rukka Kalix 2.0. This is a 600D denier nylon material that it's made out of. It has reflective strips on the sides of the arms as well as a reflective embossment of the Rukka Gore-Tex at the front of the chest there. If you're wondering where the ventilation is, you have two at the shoulders here and one on either side of the jacket. These ports are super massive, allowing for the maximum amount of air to flow through there. And then of course, where does it go? It goes outside on the exhaust vent that you can find on the back here, which is quite large as well. This comes in at, I believe, around £700, so it's one of the cheaper in the sense of pricing for a Rukka range, but no means any less in terms of the build quality. The build quality of a Rukka jacket is still there. It's just a little bit more affordable for us. So for this, they say that you can wear this for a touring, commuting or adventure riding, which you definitely can because it has that maximum versatility. Now, when it comes to the waterproofing of the zips, you have a waterproof zip in here, accompanied by a rain gully that you can find there to bead the water away from your chest. Now, on the side pockets, you have waterproof zips in there, two interior pockets, and overall, out of the lot that we are going to be speaking about today, I believe this is definitely the lightest laminate jacket that you can possibly get. But it packs a hell of a punch for the price point it is, and it comes with the Air Limb system by D3O as their armor system, and yes, it can accommodate a back protector as well. The next jacket on the list is going to be the Richa Armada Pro Gore-Tex jacket. It's going to be your 3-layered Gore-Tex membrane, so the thing that we were on about earlier about all the membranes being bonded together, laminated together, this is what we mean. So the outer, the waterproof membrane as well as the inner fabric are all bonded together, giving you that structure where it's more rigid and more durable. Now, when it comes to the construction of this as well, you've got the armor core as well as Kevlar interwoven or mused on this jacket as a whole. It does come in at just under £1,000, so it is a bit pricier, but this is Richa's flagship jacket. Now, when we come towards the ventilation on this, because that's highly important for us laminated jackets, the laminated jackets that we want to go for, they use an ACS system, which is what I believe is their way of having the vents in order to direct it all the way to the exhaust vent at the back there, so everything flows nice and easily throughout the whole of the jacket. Under the flaps, as you can see here, you have these mesh vents, which obviously allow clean air to go through these mesh vents. Massive ports to the front, which are really nice and convenient. Just put them away with the toggle system that's magnetic at the top here, drop it down, and it's all sealed up again. All you need to do is just close the zip if you need to, but at a pinch, if you need to just drop them down, it's quick and easy. Now, you get 5 pockets on the outside of this jacket, 2 of them being a waterproof pocket. Those are going to be the ones at the front here. If you look at this, you have the same sort of system that we saw on the Dainese before, Dainese jacket before even. You have a YKK zip that's waterproof there to allow you to keep everything that's in this pocket nice and dry and away from any sort of water ingress. Now it does come with a storm collar. It goes and sits on the outside. It is removable via the zip on the back, and to keep it in place you have this little magnetic system that clips onto the front of the jacket there. If you move onto the inside, you have a collar that can be tucked away by this little J-hook sort of system here. Open it up, greeted by the rain gully there, as well as a quick inner chest pocket for like passport or what have you in there. In terms of the inside, the liner is fixed in there. So you would need to get what I believe is the Houdini puffer jacket if you want a thermal lining to be accompanied with this. That would be an optional extra. However, it does come with D3O armour in the shoulder, back and elbows, all level 2 I believe, which is a nice little thing, similar to the Weise where they give you a 5-pack of armour in their jacket. And at that price point I feel like it's definitely a necessity when it comes to trying to purchase a jacket or convince yourself as to whether to get one. So underneath the armpits you also got vents here to give you maximum breathability underneath the pits, especially when it gets hot on those days. Those tend to be the places where we need the most amount of air. What's nice and convenient about the sleeve pocket, the vents even, is it's two-way. It's a two-way zip. So if you open it from the bottom here, it makes it expand wider, so you can have more airflow through there, or to fit gloves through there in one go. But if you put it down and you don't want that bit to be wider or opened up with the expansion zip, you just pull the one at the top here, and it only opens up the vent there as well. So it's really nice sort of system to have on the arms. Again, fully adjustable on how tight or loose you want it around your arms, give you more flexibility on the size and the fit of the jacket. If we move to the side here, you also have another expansion zip here to make it wider if you need to, and if you want it to be tighter, then at the back right next to it you'll find a little strap to make it go tighter there. For the other pockets that I was on about earlier, there's one on the back there, same as every other of the jackets I spoke about previously. It has like a map pocket at the back there to store things if you need to. This is the exhaust system, the AirTech control system that I was on about earlier, where you can see the vent opens up in here. It has it on either side there. Altogether, this is a fantastic jacket, definitely one to write home about. With all the reflective strips, all the reinforced materials across the whole of the jacket, it's definitely what I would believe, if you can afford it, a real bang for your buck. Last on the list, but no means least, is the Rukka Explore-R jacket, coming in at just over £1,300. It is AA rated like all the other jackets, but it's made out of this 1500D Cordura throughout the whole of the jacket, making it super abrasion resistant, and definitely going to protect you if you do in the event have an off. Now the membrane that they use is the Gore-Tex Pro 3-layer membrane, which means that all the layers are bonded tightly together and all laminated together, as well as having those taped seams. So this means it's a more stiff and more durable jacket in general. Now when it comes to the features of the jacket, well, let's talk about the ventilation. You have ventilation pretty much everywhere that you can think of. 2 on the shoulder and arms, and 2 on the back here as well, I believe. So 1 on either side, and also a pit vent on the back here. The accordion stretch paneling on the back there just allows for better flexibility and maneuverability, so it doesn't feel constraining. This is to accommodate for the fact that it is that 3-layer Gore-Tex membrane that they're using. Now, in terms of where the Gore-Tex goes to, or to which point it reaches, it goes all the way up to the ATS as well as the sleeve, so you can tuck it into your helmet without having to fear of water getting into the top of your jacket or into your sleeves. You also have some kidney straps as well there to give it a nice secure fit around your body with the Rukka branding on that. When it comes to the zips in general, they are all waterproof YKK zips, so you don't have to worry so much about water getting in. They say it's water resistant, but I would go as far to say, in my opinion, that they're pretty much waterproof. As well as, but apart from the top pockets here, which are clearly not a waterproof pocket. Now, if we move on to the inside, you'll see the chest protectors that they have in there. This is a level 1 for the chest protector, which is split, and level 1 at the back there. But when it comes to the shoulder and elbows, it will be their level 2 patented XTR Air armour they're going to be using in the shoulder and elbows, like I said previously. For a more customizable fit, you have poppers on the side here, 3 poppers instead of just the typical 2, where you can have it a customizable fit, so it's nice and secure around your arms and you don't have to worry about the armor rotating around you. One thing to add on to this as well is also you've got a crotch strap, so you can attach it to the corresponding trousers in here as well as zip it up, giving it more of a one-piece feel, and you don't have to fear of it splitting in half, or if you do come off, things happening to separate in the event of an incident when you come off your motorcycle. Right, so that's the Rukka Explore-R. Definitely made for all your adventure needs throughout all the seasons, and definitely worth the price point that they put it at. Right, so that was all the jackets. Personally, I'll give you 3 options on what to get. One for the budget, which is of course the Weise Ozark jacket. Definitely is the one to go for if you're looking for a laminated jacket and you're trying to save as much money as possible but still keep as waterproof as possible, as dry as possible. Now when it comes into the mid-range, you can't really go wrong in my opinion with the Kalix 2.0. I feel like it's a very perfect balance between being lightweight but also super waterproof and super abrasion resistant. That's something I would go for if I want something a little less cumbersome, and personally I don't need as much storage because I don't really go off-roading. So if you're looking for a casual jacket without all the bells and whistles, then the Kalix 2.0 is definitely the best option, as it is, in my opinion, really protective for the price point it's at. Now, when it comes to the overall best jacket in my own eyes, I think for the feature packedness of the jacket itself, it's got to be the Richa Armada Gore-Tex jacket. I feel like all the values and all the components they added into that to make that jacket what it is, I feel like it's definitely priced at a reasonable price point at just under £1,000. Now, those are just my opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, ride safe, and I'll see you all soon.